Have you ever felt that discussing racial inequalities was uncomfortable between white and black people because white and black see race differently? George Floyd's unnecessary death under the knee of Minnesota policemen last week is changing the conversation in America. The inequalities in the criminal justice system that many blacks have understood for a long time now is being understood by a large number of white Americans for the first time. I remember one day walking through Central Park having a regular conversation with my South African friend. It was an ordinary day. Then I remember seeing a group of police officers from the New York Police Department gathering around Columbus Circle. Then I told my friend, "Look, I don't feel comfortable around the police, so do you mind walking the other way?" My friend surprisingly looked at me and said, "Why? Did you do something wrong? Are you hiding from the police?" It took me a minute to understand it was very hard to explain to someone who doesn't live in this country. So that day, I took a minute to explain to my best friend about racial inequalities in America. Within that conversation, I explained the link between our history with slavery and Jim Crow laws, how today the legacy of those systems is embodied in mass incarceration. Explaining this history and its connection to modern day mass incarceration to my best friend gave me a strong sense of accountability to educate others and my peers about the struggle of Black people. After that day, I wanted to learn more about mass incarceration and tried to learn everything I possibly could. I went to the New Legacy Museum and National Memorial for Peace and Justice in Alabama, founded by Brian Stevenson, a lawyer from Harvard University and a social justice activist. The museum draws the link between slavery, Jim Crow laws, lynching, and how the modern way to exploit Black men through mass incarceration. Even though America has less than 5% of the world's population, we make up 21% of the world's prisoners. Put it in another way, Canada, Germany, Japan, France have about 100 people or less in prison for every 100,000 people in their population. In the US, we have over 700 people in jail for every 100,000 people in our population, at least 7 times more than those other countries. We have over 2 million people in our prison. We have more people in prison than the total population of Alaska, the District of Columbia, Vermont, and Wyoming.